Hi, boys and girls. Okay, today you're going to get a slab of clay. Everyone will need a leaf. And hopefully we got to go around and walk and pick these up. If not, Mrs. Walker will have collected some for you, depending on the weather. You'll need a cutting tool because you're going to cut around your leaf. Some places I might have these, I might have those, just depends, okay? The first thing you're going to do is roll out your dough so that's nice and smooth. I noticed mine had a few little bumps in it, so I'm just going to roll it. And we had some trouble with them sticking to the board, so I got some plastic wrap out in case that happens to you. Then flip it over, make sure the back is nice and smooth too. Now we don't want it too thin, so don't do too much rolling, but you want it at least a finger thickness, okay? All right, I'm going to flip it back over because I think I like this side the best. Now you're going to lay your leaf on there, and my stem is way too long, so if yours is really long, I want you to cut that off because you're going to cut around, you're going to cut it out around it, and you don't want to have it, you don't want this much stem, okay? Then you're going to lay it in the middle and just press it in, and I sometimes just give it a quick roll to make sure it's in. If you roll it too hard though, it'll actually tear your leaf, so just roll it once or twice back and forth. Just to make sure it's well embedded into your clay. And then you're going to take your clay tool and you're going to cut around and try to make it kind of the shape of your leaf. So I would call this bubble cutting because I'm not cutting right on the edge of my leaf, but I'm trying to cut it kind of the shape of my leaf. Okay, so I'm doing a in and going around, and then I'm going to go around the stem. I'm going to go back in, and I'm just kind of making a wavy, wiggly, zigzaggy kind of line here, aren't I? Now, if you get a lot of clay on your clay tools, be sure to take that extra clay and put it back in the extra clay. We want to leave these clean, okay? Then you're going to take this extra clay off, and that goes, again, in the extra clay bag that Mrs. Walker will have on the front table. And then I'm going to take this part and I'm going to leave, I got a couple of little rough edges there, I'm just kind of smoothing those a little bit. I'm going to leave my leaf in here and bring it up to Mrs. Walker along with a paper towel. And you want to wad up that paper towel in a ball, okay? We're going to set the paper towel on a cup, and we're going to put our leaf face down. So we're going to kind of bend it. We're going to put it on here and kind of just gently bend it down. And we don't want to bend it too hard because we don't want this edge of the cup to be cutting into our leaf design. We just want to bend it so it's kind of a bowl shape, okay? And then we're going to leave it sitting on there to dry, and Mrs. Walker will write your name and class code on the back of your leaf, okay? And then you'll get this back when it is dry and has been cooked in my very hot oven, which is called a kiln. When it's done being cooked, then Mrs. Walker will give it back to you, and we will get to glaze it. And glazing it is when you put a special kind of paint on it that's just for clay, okay? So we'll let this dry today. You need to be sure and bring back, I know you were sharing the rolling pins at your table, be sure that gets put back. Put your tools away, make sure they're wiped off, make sure your clay gets put back in the extra clay bag, and these boards get stacked up on the front table.